In the Milky Way galaxy, there are over 100 billion stars, and they're all connected by light, gravitational force, and by constellations when you look at it from our point of view on Earth. Inside each and every one of us are about 100 billion brain cells called neurons, and they're all connected too by trillions of synapses that carry information about our thoughts and dreams and emotions through the brain in a fraction of a second. When millions of brain cells get together and they sing, they create brain waves. Brain waves were designed cleverly by Mother Nature to connect us to the world and to each other. When we see a flashing light or an image or we hear sounds or music, our brain waves literally synchronize with what we're hearing. And so I want you all to close your eyes and imagine you're listening to the ocean and you're on a beach. Someone plays a familiar song. So how is it that simple sounds like that can affect our mood in a fraction of a second? Just vibrations through the air can change the way we feel. Music has a very special power, and so does sound through its vibrational force and its synchronization with our brain rhythms. That's why music can have such a profound impact on how we feel. Believe it or not, music and sound are being used in more therapies every day to combat Alzheimer's and dementia, the cognitive decline that's associated with that, and to help with arousal and anxiety as well. We probably all listen to songs to help us through a hard time, right? My first experience with this kind of goes back about 2 years. My father was in a really bad car accident, and he broke some bones, and while he was in the hospital, he had a stroke. And the stroke caused damage to his memory. He lost his ability to speak fluently, like we all kind of take for granted. He lost his ability to do basic math. And when I asked him how many children he had, he said 4, and he only has 3, right? So it was hard to deal with that. But when I would visit him in the hospital, I would play him music that he used to play for us when we were kids. He was a DJ too. And so, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. And yeah, I would play him songs like this. Funky stuff. Makes you want to move, it's like got a little bounce to it. And when I would play him music like this, he would light up almost like he was awakening from a fog of memory loss. And when I would watch him work with his speech therapist, his occupational therapist, and physical therapist, all these different therapies, it was kind of like he was dragging his feet. There was no excitement, no real energy. But just listening to music restored memories, and I could see the difference visibly very quickly. And that was just a personal experience, but now more and more music's being used in these types of therapies to combat vascular dementia, Alzheimer's disease, and all sorts of problems that are related to brain rhythms and brain health. I heard a story also, a friend told me, that her son was struggling in school with arousal, hyperarousal, very fight or flight mode, hard to deal with other children because emotionally he was having difficulty regulating himself. And his occupational therapist would play him special sounds that were engineered to activate both sides of your brain. So I kind of wanted you guys to close your eyes and listen to this sound. That is a binaural beat. And believe it or not, it's 2 different sounds played at the same time. And there's a vibrational illusion that you hear. That wobbly sound is actually an illusion that your brain is perceiving. Listening to that sound with his eyes closed and his headphones in helped the young child regulate his emotions. Because when he would do that, he would feel this sense of calm, and he was able to drop himself into a more meditative, soothed type brain state. And it was amazing to me that something so simple as just two sounds played in two different ears, and he just got his eyes closed. It was amazing how profound of effect that had on his mental health and his ability to regulate. On the left side of the screen, you'll see the brain of a healthy child between 6 and 10 years old. What's circled there is the temporal lobes. These areas of the brain are right behind our ears. They help regulate our memory, our emotions, our auditory perception, so our hearing, and they help us track objects through space and our visual field. On the right side of the screen, you'll see a brain of a child around the same age who was living at an orphanage at the time of the brain scan. And that exact same brain region is far less active. You probably all figured out that the color indicates activity. And so without those very important connections early in life, you can see a clear difference in the neural activity that is in the child's brain. And these very important connections are critical to form healthy relationships, right? Beyond just with you and your parents, it expands and pervades every relationship that you have in your life. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are studies being done right now that focus on the brainwave connection between parents and their children. When mom makes eye contact with baby or daddy, right, there is a synchronization that occurs between their brains that we think in neuroscience fosters this feeling of love and connection and serves as a model for the rest of their relationships in life. And so the connection between us all is really, at its foundation, is tied to our biological rhythms. And love is made of this very same thing. When a woman is in labor and she's about to give birth, a simple touch on her hand from her partner can help relieve her pain. And whether or not we've had kids, we all remember being kids. Maybe we would fall or hurt a knee or elbow, and our mom or dad could kiss it and make it all better. A simple, soothing touch and a sound of a voice can heal wounds. So what does that leave us with? It leaves us all with a very important and special power that we have to make a difference in everybody's life and our relationships that we have, whether they're romantic or not. The things that you say to people last forever. Our voices are like music, like songs that can leave a scar in someone's spirit, or it can heal wounds. We've all said something to somebody that we regret, and we've all said something to somebody that has helped them through a hard time. So I want you all to remember the power that you have to make a difference in everybody's life that you know, and be nice, right? Thank you. Mm-hmm.